The holidays are supposed to feel like just pure joy, but for many of us, they can also feel a bit like noise, pressure, and like emotional landmines. If that's you, there is nothing wrong with you. Your nervous system is just looking for a little bit extra love, a little bit extra support. So today, I want to talk about how we can both feel more grounded, calmer, and more connected to ourselves in the season that can feel like a lot. Hi, I'm Kathleen, and welcome to a safe space where I'll help you reconnect to your true needs and find meaning through burnout. So, if that's something you're interested in, maybe grab a warm drink, subscribe, and let's get into it. Let's start with why the season can feel so heavy. There's the obvious stuff, like there's just more going on, more events, more noise, and less routines. But underneath all that, there are a lot of old patterns that can get activated during this time, like performance pressure to always be cheerful and joyful and make it perfect, old family dynamics resurfacing, overwhelm from constant social stimulation, emotional loneliness even when you're surrounded by people, and the end of year shoulds to tie everything neatly up in a package. So if you feel tired, exhausted, or weirdly emotional, know that there's nothing wrong with you and it's just your, maybe sensitive nervous system reacting in a very normal and predictable way when you're in a season of high pressure. So here are 5 tips for keeping your nervous system regulated during this holiday season. The first tip is to lean into the magic of the season because it really is one of the most magical times of the year. And with it actually comes a lot of things that are good for our nervous system, like the soft lighting and twinkle lights and the cozy blankets and the warm drinks. The problem is when we turn that comfort and that warmth into performance to make everything look right and perfect, to buy the perfect gifts and make sure everything is wrapped perfectly. It's when you force yourself to make it perfect that ends up draining you and dysregulating your nervous system. So lean into the parts that genuinely soothe you and drop the parts that drain you. So like me, I'm putting up some of my favorite Christmas decorations. So my tree, some twinkle lights, my favorite decorations, instead of pulling everything out of their boxes and decorating the whole house. And don't get me wrong, if decorating everything truly gives you joy, do it. But it's about acknowledging and being aware of when you're doing it for performance, doing it to appear perfect. Another one here is to let yourself rest instead of trying to make it magical for everyone. It's amazing to try to create memories with your family, but also when it starts to feel like pressure, like you should be doing these things, that's when you need to tune in and instead see if rest is what your body actually needs. The second tip is to simplify gift giving. Honestly, it is so exhausting trying to go out and shop for all of the perfect gifts for everyone on your list. Gift giving can be beautiful, but it can also be emotionally and financially overwhelming and draining. So if it feels stressful for you too, here are some ways how you can simplify it. First, agree with some of your family members that you won't exchange gifts this year. Like in my family, we're not exchanging gifts for the adults, we're just giving gifts for the kids. Or you can agree to exchange experiences instead of gifts. Set a reasonable limit for the gifts so that you're not so financially strained, especially this year. And maybe it's about giving just one thoughtful thing instead of many gifts at once. Because your worth does not come from how much you give. And people who love you just want your presence, and your presence regulated, not perfectly wrapped presents. Tip number 3, tend to your light, literally. It's a very dark time of year, especially in North America or the Northern Hemisphere, so it's important to try to bring light in as much as possible. Light those candles, light those twinkle lights, but also try to make sure that you get outside as much as you can, even if the weather's bad. Honestly, even 5 minutes helps if you're standing outside or walking outside or just looking at a tree. You can also create just like micro sunlight moments. So sit by a window or look at a candle flickering in the light. Tip number 4 is to honor your wins, no matter how big or small they might feel. This time of year can bring up a lot of comparison, like comparison to what you thought you should have done or would have done by this time of year, or comparison to what you see other people doing. So take a moment to acknowledge what you did do. And even if it wasn't a lot, actually, especially if it wasn't a lot, it's important to acknowledge what you did for yourself this year. Maybe reflect on some moments you actually showed up for yourself, or you rested instead of pushing through, or you set a boundary and held true to that. It's not about having everything figured out and finalized before the end of the year, especially not about hitting those year-end goals, because sometimes the most important work is the invisible work. So pat yourself on the shoulder, give yourself a little hug. You did amazing. And tip number 5, try to keep the routines that regulate you. It can feel like a busier time of year. You can be doing different things than you're used to doing. And so oftentimes we drop some of the routines that keep us regulated, like maybe taking time to stretch or working out, eating well, giving yourself nourishing foods, taking time to journal, just whatever it is that you figured out works for you. Make sure you still try to incorporate that, even if it's in smaller moments. So instead of journaling a whole page, just journal a couple words. Or instead of doing a whole yoga routine, maybe just do some light stretching for a couple minutes. Because routines aren't about discipline, they're about making your nervous system feel safe. And you can do that in smaller ways. Now, this isn't really a tip, but for anybody who feels lonely during the holidays or triggered during the holidays, I want you to know that you're not broken. You're not dramatic. Your inner child probably just needs a little more care this time of year. Give yourself permission to not engage in anything that feels too activating. And maybe it's about connecting with one safe person and not about connecting with a whole group of people that might be triggering your inner child. You are allowed to protect your heart. You are allowed to choose peace. And remember, you don't have to earn this season. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to do all the things. Really, the most important thing, as always, is that you're listening to your true needs. And if you want more support with listening to your needs and regulating your nervous system, I'm here for you. I'll link my resources as well as one-on-one sessions below, because I want this season to be joyful for both of us, and I think it really can be. Just keep doing what works for you, even in small ways. I'm proud of you. You did amazing this year, and I'll see you soon.